Scarlett Johansson passed over other scripts to work with Jonathan Glazer on his third film. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Before his critically acclaimed film The Zone of Interest, Jonathan Glazer collaborated with Scarlett Johansson in the sci-fi film Under the Skin. Johansson was riding high on the success of her Marvel films at the time and took a break to star in indie films. While she received several scripts, she sought out Glazer's film, which originally had a very different story. Scarlett Johansson starred as an alien who preys on men in Scotland in Jonathan Glazer's third film, Under the Skin. Glazer decided to adapt Michel Faber's novel of the same name early in 2000 after his debut film. But the lack of required technology delayed the start of production. When Glazer finally decided to make the film, Johansson was looking for an indie film to break away from her commercial films. Johansson revealed to The Guardian that she heard about Glazer's film and found the premise interesting. She met with the director, who had initially planned to cast completely new actors in the roles. When the Black Widow star met Jonathan Glazer, he was still figuring out his film and what had attracted him to the story. Johansson shared that the concept of an alien gave Glazer the freedom to create a character without any judgment. Johansson shared with The Guardian, "I heard Jonathan was making a film, and originally it was a very different story. But I met him, and it was very clear that he was struggling to figure out what he was doing with it, and what had attracted him to it. It wasn't his passion project, but there was something in the idea of having a character that was an alien that could give him the freedom to be completely observant without any judgment." However, the Scoop actress was also interested in the alien character. She admitted that it was challenging to play a character that has no relationship to any emotions. Her intuition at the time was to just have confidence and play the character, even though she didn't know how to do it before the film. She shared, "I think we were both interested in that. I thought it would be incredibly challenging to play a character that's free of judgment, that has no relationship to any emotion I could relate to. And for me, at this point, I think it much more interesting for me to look at something and know that I can play it, but not know how, rather than to look at something and go, I can do that, and then just do it." The project didn't happen immediately, as the director and the actress had conversations over the years before the filming even began. In these years, the story and script changed considerably, and Johansson had become an integral part of the creative process. Starring in Under the Skin was no small feat for Scarlett Johansson. The film premiered at the Telluride Film Festival and was released in theaters a year later. The reactions were extreme, with some finding it to be a great cinematic experience, while others believed that it was a laughable attempt at an alien movie. Johansson shared with The Guardian that the film was received with an even split of cheering and boos when it was released at the Venice Film Festival. It was the first time she had watched a film with an audience, and she was on a mezzanine, which made her feel super exposed to the audience. She shared that she didn't know how to react to the audience's reactions. She shared, "It was very strange. It was the first time I had seen the film with an audience, and the first time I saw the film finished. And I was on this huge mezzanine, so I felt super exposed. Then at the end, when the lights came up, there was this sound of people cheering and booing at the same time, but with equal gusto. I didn't know how to react to it." However, she eventually learned from Glazer that a mixed reaction was far better than everyone having a middle ground opinion. The film's critical acclaim did not help it succeed in theaters, as the film bombed badly. As a yearly tradition, Colin Jost and Michael Che swapped jokes on the Weekend Update section of the sketch show SNL, and this year seemed brutal. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe, and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Saturday Night Live's Colin Jost and Michael Che continued their yearly tradition of Christmas joke swaps, and it turned out to be one of the best Weekend Update sections ever. As always, Che wrote a Scarlett Johansson joke for Jost, but the absolutely diabolical moment occurred when the camera cut to the actress in the studio during the segment. Jost and Che have done the joke swap multiple times during the Weekend Update segment on SNL. While Che usually has the upper hand, Jost also seemed to get Che this time with a Jay-Z and Diddy joke. However, Jost and Che may have taken it too far with the jokes about the former's wife. Colin Jost and Michael Che's joke swap is one of the fans' favorite yearly traditions on SNL. Every year, The Weekend Update hosts write jokes for each other that neither of them has seen before and will be saying for the first time on air as they read through the teleprompter. Both make each other say some of the most controversial statements, and it makes for great comedy. However, this year, the joke swap may have just reached its peak. Che and Jost continued their Christmas tradition, with Che making Jost read out the entire segment in his black voice. Jost also put Che in a tough spot by making him confess to attending P. Diddy's controversial parties and making a statement about Jay-Z's allegations, via NBC News. The worst part, however, was when Che made Colin Jost read out a news piece on his wife, Scarlett Johansson. As he began to joke about his wife and their child together, the camera cut to Johansson in the studio with a glass of water and a dreaded look on her face. Jost also seemed to regret the moment but continued to tell the jokes via SNL. Fans were ecstatic at Johansson's surprise cameo on the show and found it hilarious that the sketch comedy show managed to put her in the same place while Jost and Che did their dark jokes. Having Scarlett watch was diabolical. Anna Sophiana calls. Che came for the jugular dude. This was the best joke swap they've done by far. I was in stitches. Chlorobing Kutcher. Scarjo was not ready. I do love the Bernie Mac shout-out, though. I ain't scared of you. Rick Savage. Give the camera operator a raise for those pans to Scarlett. JC Thierry. This is my favorite tradition, and Scarlett is such a great sport. Eddie Max 16. The jokes about Scarlett Johansson did not seem to stop even after the first reveal of her presence, with Colin Jost continuing to talk in his black voice. However, fans did appreciate him for getting Che with the Diddy Jock menu. Fandom Wire. Search. You are here. Home celebrities having Scarlett watch was diabolical. Colin Jost may have gone too far with his Scarlett Johansson joke in SNL Christmas joke swap. Having Scarlett watch was diabolical. Colin Jost may have gone too far with his Scarlett Johansson joke in SNL Christmas joke swap. As a yearly tradition, Colin Jost and Michael Che swap jokes on the Weekend Update section of the sketch show SNL, and this year seemed brutal. Written by Nishanuth. Reviewed by Divyashri. Updated December 23, 2024, 7:44 a.m. Colin Jost and Scarlett Johansson credit. Left image from Saturday Night Live. Follow. Comments. 0. Share. Featured video. Summary. SNL's Colin Jost and Michael Che performed their yearly Christmas joke swap on the show this weekend, too. As per tradition, there were plenty of jokes on Jost's wife, Scarlett Johansson, who showed up at the studio this time. Che seemed to have not pulled his punches despite her presence and went for his darkest joke about them this year. AD. Saturday Night Live's Colin Jost and Michael Che continued their yearly tradition of Christmas joke swaps, and it turned out to be one of the best Weekend Update sections ever. As always, Che wrote a Scarlett Johansson joke for Jost, but the absolutely diabolical moment occurred when the camera cut to the actress in the studio during the segment. Jost and Che have done the joke swap multiple times during the Weekend Update segment on SNL. While Che usually has the upper hand, Jost also seemed to get Che this time with a Jay-Z and Diddy joke. However, Jost and Che may have taken it too far with the jokes about the former's wife. Colin Jost's SNL joke swap